want and so and for at the same time. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Live.
Okay.
We're gonna show you something that doesn't work. Different ways we're gonna do it.
What I think is happening. I'm gonna ask the guy to sign something. So I'm accusing somebody.
Well, and that's what I was gonna respond to, was and basically say,
I'm gonna touch it right now. Okay.
it sounds to me like you're accusing.
There's different ways of doing it. Yeah, yeah.
No,
we're 100%.
I'm not gonna do it.
Yeah.
And
I think all we can do is ask the vendor. You know?
to put a real recaption, yeah, yes. And I asked that question and that's not feasible. So,
Are we ready?
I
yes.
think so. Yeah, why not?
Do we still have Cheryl?
Yes, I see a green phone. She's there.
Okay, so I have turned the
I'm
recording
here.
back on, and we are back on the record
Yes,
at
I'm here.
11:24 a.m.
Okay.
So moving on to business items, we did have item number 6A. My understanding is we're gonna hold off on this because not Steve. Keith is gonna work on the proposals based on the walkthrough.
I think that would be, are you okay with that, Rich, though? I know you had,
Yeah,
I'm
so
sorry.
fencing.
on the fences, talking about the fence?
Yeah, I'm sorry, I was.
Are you okay if we just talk about it at the next
Oh, sure.
meeting,
Yeah,
which would actually be the second meeting in February, right, Belinda? yeah.
That's fine.
So-
Okay.
So Keith will get estimates from a couple of the vendors and we'll see what it's gonna look like from a cost perspective.
You okay with that, Cheryl?
Absolutely.
Okay, cool.
All right, so moving forward, we now have item number 6B, which is the consideration of the stock proposals for Laurel Road. This is behind tab number 2 for your review. All right,
I had a question.
Cheryl, did you or Keith want to take us through this?
Yeah, Keith, do you want to or do you want me?
I was on the phone with Dan, looking at the irrigation at Valenza Loop. Where at? Oh, soccer
Walk you
proposals.
through it. You have two in your packet. The first is from Juniper. The second is from a second company that Keith and I brought in and met with and walked the area with, so they would know exactly what they needed to do. And the difference is really the second company, not Juniper, actually bid on, it's Sunshine Sod, they did not include any of the removal of debris by truck and or any enhancement labor. And so if you had those two things in, the bids would be pretty close, because Sunshine Sod is at 38.2, and there's like $8,000 to $10,000 in the Juniper proposal for debris by truck and enhancement labor. So this is kind of a matter of, do you want to put it all with Juniper, or do you want to have a different company come in and do some of the sod work? It'll be about the same price.
Can I ask Cheryl, I happen to be, I have a friend who lives in Vicenza, and I was either walking or driving back and I was looking at the Medici berm. Everything on it's dead, everything. It's all dead. Sure, you know, because you run by there probably 5 times a day or a week. I'm not opposed in principle to putting sod in, but are we ready?
Well, that's, and the irrigation, remember the electrical line for the irrigation just got completed. And now the irrigation team comes back and does all the checking of all the heads to make sure everything is running before we do any sod. So we can wait on this.
Okay.
I mean, that's fine. Yeah, we can, I have no problem waiting on this at all.
I guess I just remember Skip Maskell saying to me, you know where Skip and Diane live, and, you know,
Yeah.
Skip says to me, Jill, nothing's ever grown on that berm. He said they fix it, and then 18 months later, everything's dead because it's broken again. So I guess
Yeah.
I just worry.
Yeah. I agree, and that's one of the reasons, for the sod that we were gonna put in there, is not, refined sod, and it would grow pretty easily. But we have to fix the irrigation. The irrigation probably has not worked properly there since the beginning of time.
Yeah.
Because that electrical system was like 5 inches deep and probably was going on.
Well, maybe that's why. I hadn't
Right.
thought about that. I'm
Right.
thinking the physical lines,
Yeah.
so I haven't thought about that.
And now it's in the conduit, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Right, exactly.
And I'm still struggling as why we're looking at refixing something that we just did, and what, you know, and I'm not blaming anybody on the landscape people, but why didn't Juniper, when they were designing stuff, attest to things that need to be carted out, cleaned up, more sod, whatever, to get a neat appearance? I mean, we spent $200,000, now we're spending another $50,000-$60,000 just to fix up what they did, and what they did doesn't
Well,
look good.
this is not to fix up what they did, Rich. This is to replace sod that was not part of the original.
I know,
proposal.
I meant, but why didn't they come through with it as part of the original design? I mean, it's like they gave us a half design to buy into it, and now we have to spend more money to finish it. It's not to say that we wouldn't have done it anyway,
To me,
The sod wasn't their idea. That was our idea, that this needs to be put in here and this.
To me, the Medici berm is different from the Laurel Road work,
Absolutely.
at least in my mind.
In my head, it is as well. Yes. it is
Because it's
completely separate.
inside the, Medici berm is inside the
Right, yeah,
fence.
yeah.
I'm sure you've walked that area, yeah.
Yes,
it's- Yeah, so I think we're all saying the same.
Yeah, and I think we should wait on it till the next meeting. I'd like to be there in person to have this conversation.
Yeah.
And then actually do a little more work and take some pictures so that we can all be on the same page.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, cool.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for that.
Thank you. All right, we're gonna move into item number 6C, which is a review and discussion regarding a finalized speed hump locations.
We're not finalized.
I'm not sure they're finalized, but I know that there was an email that Rick did send
Yes.
the board.
Yes. Oh, we've got picture time.
Well, it just helps.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, well, before we get to that, Keith, I don't know whether you know the answer to this. I take Darlene's point about the proximity of a speed bump to a stop sign. I assumed that it was put where it was so that by the time the front wheels bumped over it and came to a stop, that you would be in line with the line of sight of the stop sign. At least that's how I treat it.
Yes, that's how I treat it.
Except when I'm on a golf cart, of course, and I just sail right through.
And that's kind of where you are.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. And I will say this, living down Padova, while it doesn't stop the traffic, I feel like as a pedestrian, I am safe because it slows it down enough.
It won't kill you.
It won't kill me. Yeah.
Maybe.
Yes, exactly. It'll maybe break a leg.
or you're really fast, you can sprint down the legs.
So, while I appreciate the point, I think they are doing their job as long as people don't act like they're in the UK and drive on the wrong side of the road.
Yeah,
Well, the people
Safe.
that aren't stopping, we're gonna stop anyway.
Correct,
that would be right.
correct.
But it slows them down.
It slows
Yeah.
I
them
think
down.
it does, I think.
It's
it does.
effective.
It's definitely so, I mean, it's definitely effective. I would have moved back a few more feet back because by the time my back wheels clear the bump, I'm really like already in the crosswalk area on Veneto.
But if your front tires go over, you're right at the line, there,
Line,
you
gotta
shouldn't stop. And then you go
Yes.
forward and then your back tires come,
Right.
then they go over
Yeah,
and it keeps you, slowed going through that intersection.
Yeah.
Oh, I see it.
That's the way I see it as well.
It makes me do like a Connecticut stop, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I would have stopped it done further, so I cleared it and then I can stop at this, so slow.
No,
and
because
I
they
would
don't
stop
stop at the stop sign. They
I
would
think it would make
clear,
it worse
I think
if
it
we
would
do
make it
that.
worse.
Okay,
Yes, yeah, I would think that would make it much worse, in
So,
my opinion.
I can't think of that sense because I stop at stop signs, so
do we feel what do we think about, because I had a quick exchange with Rick and Keith about this, last week. I mean, I'm on foot a lot, but I'm sure you're probably the one among all of us who's probably the most on foot. Yeah, so what do you think, I mean, just about the bumps?
Mhm.
I think we've had a number of people from Montaluna, ask, I mean,
Mhm.
what do we do with the rest of these?
So I love the idea at Cipriani. I think that's perfect. The same ones that are at the corner of Veneto and Padova should be at Veneto and Cipriani at that early stop.
Both sides?
Uh-huh. Well,
Because there's two Ciprianis, right?
Yes.
There's a left and a right, or a
Yes.
north and a south.
yes. Yes, both
What about
sides.
Montaluna? Or not, Martalago is a stop anyway.
No, Martelago is not a stop.
It's
Yeah.
a stop if you're on Martalago.
No, the
Yeah, but
only,
there's, it's Veneto, that's the big issue. In
Yeah.
Veneto, there's only two stops, Padova and Cipriani.
correct. And then, yes, so I
Yeah,
think,
I see what you're saying.
yeah, so while there is not a lot of traffic coming out of Cipriani, and that's a valid point, we could just have the speed bumps on Padova because the volume of traffic coming out of Cipriani is not as significant as the volume that comes out of Padova/Montaluna back that way. So if we wanted to just put them on Veneto, that would be acceptable. I was just thinking all four.
And is that, I'm just trying to remember, with the proximity, if we were gonna do them on Veneto though, where are the current speed humps on Veneto?
Right past Montaluna, right before you, by the golf cart crossing right there.
Mhm, that's right, okay.
Mhm.
I don't often go that way, I come the other way. So there wouldn't be any homes that would be affected there, so, and nobody seems to mind the speed humps.
Right,
We were looking at adding speed cushions on Passaro just east of the golf course. Quite next to the pond.
correct.
Before you get to the house, it's almost right across from, where we looked at, there was an E
Yeah.
or something that.
Yeah, the E from Passaro on this, they would not be in front of the homes.
Right here with this E is, and it's just,
Yeah,
put it right in here and just slow them
yeah. So we're almost
In
right
front of the
across
golf course.
from the loading dock.
between
down.
the-
See the E there? And beside,
Far driveway,
Yeah.
right about there.
Actually,
like
before the back.
before the first house. Yeah, it would be past,
Yes.
past the,
Oh, so,
Yeah,
Let me pass the backdrop.
so under the power lines area?
no, not that
When you
far,
turn in,
not
it's
that
gotta
far.
be beyond
He'll
that.
show you.
There is one there.
There is one over there.
And where?
So,
Yeah.
here, I'll show you where we're thinking.
Yeah.
You mind, Keith?
There's one just beyond the power lines and then further down.
Yeah.
So right
And it does
here. So the
Oh, right,
backdrop
right,
is
oh,
here.
right,
Well, I know.
Oh, bag drop, you don't get what you're saying, okay, yeah.
Yeah, so it wouldn't interfere with any of the homes. That would be our goal.
Okay. So
Is that sound-
are we,
Is that gonna be a bump or Cushion.
Cushion.
Well, and Ken, can you repeat what you said to me about, on Passaro near the golf club, right? About Jeff Klein.
I think
what
you
Jeff
want
Klein
to,
said.
I think you want a little further down.
Yeah, well, this
Get
doesn't,
past
this,
the
this doesn't get to
backdrop.
the houses, and he's about, what, 3 houses up?
Yeah, he says he doesn't care if it's in front of his house.
Oh, he
Oh,
did,
But he-
because,
But he needs, he says, you gotta slow traffic down.
Yeah.
okay, because the last time I had talked to Jeff Klein, he did not want speed bumps in front of his home, and that was
Which Jeff?
the Jeff Klein episode.
The good one or the
And they're
bad
both
one?
doctors,
Both.
She says Helen.
So, yeah, so, okay, well, if he's comfortable with that, then that's great.
That even works better.
That works better, yes.
I think so. I see crazy stuff that people pass. them.
Oh, my God, it's horrible.
So then, are we agreed then? So A, it says, well, let me start at the top then.
Can you recap them for me?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was about to do. So I
Okay.
thought, all right, so Cipriani and Veneto,
Both sides?
You think we need them there, huh?
I think we need them on Benito for sure.
I'm not so sure on
On the
Okay, so-
Cipriani?
the Cipriani
I agree.
exits, I don't
So
think so.
Benito-
I think
and
it's just a Benito.
Yes,
Veneto
absolutely.
only at the Cipriani section.
Benito only,
So
yes.
not on the Cipriani side, but just,
Bumps or cushions?
Bumps.
Bumps,
At
right
the
at the
stop,
stop.
just like the
so
ones
that's
at
a
Benito
total of
Padova.
2 bumps.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, that just go halfway across the road.
Mm-hmm.
4 bumps each leg of the Montaluna and Padova. Do we need that?
Well, in my being out there, yeah, that's a high traffic, high speed.
On Veneto.
No, on
No,
Padova.
No,
This is
on
Montaluna.
Padova, and
Oh,
Padova,
Montaluna and Padova.
Yeah.
Oh.
that's a treacherous
Yeah.
area, and you've got so many people coming down. There's so many that live up
So
in
that's a
there.
4-way stop.
And
So
So that's 4 bumps.
just being out there, it's
Is it Padova only or Montaluna?
it's both
as well?
sides.
it would be both. I mean, you don't have to do it on the cul-de-sac side of Montaluna. I'm sorry, Cheryl. Did she say something?
No, you're fine.
Okay, it doesn't have to be on the cul-de-sac side of Montaluna because there's not a lot of traffic coming down
Which is
that
the
way.
west side.
Would that be the west side or the south side?
Oh, whatever.
South side.
Okay.
And then, so I think 3 there. Padova each direction and Montaluna where those red lots are at.
Mhm.
But I don't think you need it coming out of that cul-de-sac. Those people almost always stop. Because they know what they're dealing with the Padova.
It's
Highway.
It's
Do
not
you
a lot.
make it on the Montaluna side, Cindy? Because every time I've been there,
Mhm.
I've seen people run the sign going straight down Padova, but if they have to slow down to make a turn, they generally stopped. I could be wrong. You see it all day long.
So are you thinking all 4 then, Cheryl?
I think she's thinking.
No, I
two.
was thinking just the Padova.
That's
Just the
what I was thinking.
Padova? I'd be okay
Yeah.
with that too.
Well, okay, well.
I mean, the only reason I suggested the one side of Montaluna is because that's where that cyclist got hit by the car that ran the stop sign there.
Oh, well, then good point. I agree.
Well, and a lot of people, I think to the silent audience member who was gesturing, I walk that a lot while I'm saying hello to you and then
Yeah.
turn the corner there. I think there are a lot of people who use that intersection as a shortcut to get to the large part of Montaluna.
Yes,
So
absolutely.
then maybe it's 2 on Padova and 1 on the Montaluna side of the north side.
This side here.
Yes, on the north side.
Montaluna North 1.
And we just, there's a lot of cyclists, obviously, so we need to make sure there's
So
that one
did you
foot
get
from the
that,
curb.
Belinda? So it's 2 on Padova, 1 on each of Padova, and then 1 on Montaluna North side.
Yes.
So 2 Padova
And 1 on Montaluna.
Montaluna.
Yeah,
And then I have Benito at Cipriani too.
yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
And then we're removing the one on Padova and
Pissarro.
Papa Pissarro and Benito.
And Benito.
Of course.
well, I will tell you
But-
this, I think we need it on Veneto coming south toward the guard shack, because
You need it on both, I think both directions, on Benito,
you do,
at that
I
intersection.
agree.
So remove the one and put them on the
On
stops.
Benito, in and out.
On Benito,
Okay.
both ways.
Yeah, and
You got golf cart crossing.
You got golf cart
there, you
crossing.
got-
And people come, well, yeah, and with the golf cart crossing, we all know, I mean, I feel like I'm taking my life in my hands.
Yeah, nobody stops at that stop sign coming in.
I know you had done this before, and we can't really get too far with it now, but somebody look into it. Could we rent or hire an off-duty policeman to come in 1 to 2 hours a month? Or, or a week, for a month here or a month there, just to help. If people start realizing they're gonna get tickets and a cop might be here, we might be able to eliminate a lot of this stuff, so it's not full patrol. We pay for like 2 hours on a Tuesday, and then we'll pay.
Do you want to put it on the agenda?
Yeah,
You need a traffic enforcement agreement. That's
Okay.
something that you don't currently have. And I will tell you that once there is a traffic enforcement agreement, they don't just stick to.
But even, so for,
We've talked about this
Yeah.
for
many
private,
times.
I know,
We've
but-
always said
everything-
no, Rich.
no, I thought we could just have them come in if we pay for the, go through the cop to come in for a couple
Well,
hours.
Belinda was in the middle of saying
Okay.
something.
Yeah. So if you're gonna bring them in and it's traffic related, they won't come in unless you have a traffic enforcement agreement.
Got it.
Because if you have a guardhouse, you have gate arms, they won't contract with you unless you provide them with a copy of the traffic enforcement agreement.
Got it.
There's a lot of things that come with that. All of your signage needs to be up to par for enforcement, and they won't just enforce traffic. So if they see anything that is outside of the law, they will enforce it as well.
I did not, wasn't aware of that, so that changes, that
But
changes.
do you
Let's try
feel-
these, let's try these
Yeah,
pumps and see what,
I agree.
it's gonna help.
And then if you want to put it on agenda.
I'm not telling you that some districts don't do it.
I don't know if I'm gonna go, I don't know
We
if I'm ready
do
to
do
go to
it
that
with,
level.
No.
with Greyhawk, they tried it with the sheriff's office, it didn't work, so they did it with FHP. And they write a lot of tickets, and they do get a lot of tickets. And some people, get upset, and there was a little bit of an uproar at some point, but now, they have FHP, they have a budget line for it, it's not inexpensive.
I was gonna say, well, can you have an idea of the,
I think it's, I wanna say $250 an hour, and there's a maximum of hours that you're supposed to book every
I
time they
see,
come.
right,
And,
Minimum.
they schedule them, to vary, and then they go
Yeah.
to different places throughout the community, they don't
Yeah.
just stick to one place.
right.
The drivers become familiar with the fact that they know the officers are there. But, it's really your decision. I mean, if you ever decide that you want it back on the agenda, we can
Okay,
talk about it
yeah.
and, bring forth an agreement for
That's
you to
helpful.
review.
Okay.
But, you should be aware that they will enforce anything and
I
everything
didn't
that
know we
they see.
needed that whole agreement, I just thought we
It's-
could have
it's-
somebody come in for a couple hours.
So even though your roads are public,
Right,
well, because of the gatehouse, because of that,
it changes
it
it.
changed.
Yeah,
And I was actually talking with, general counsel for, Manatee County, Sheriff's Office about this specific issue last week.
yeah,
Especially with gates, especially with gatehouses and all that, and there's actually a statute thing, that you need to have, technically you need to have an agreement in place. It's more for other districts, but they treat it the same as CDDs.
yeah.
So, and to Belinda's point, I have not seen any situation with the CDD wanting enforcement. So they do it usually with, many times with FHP.
Yeah,
That's the only way they will do it.
yeah, and Ernest Booker and I met with Venice Police, and we both walked down and they were like, yeah, maybe this isn't for us. But I think we should always be open to it.
FH, at least from my experience, FHP is generally the one
Is
that.
that right? Okay.
Okay,
It's more because they're road-based, but it's,
Yeah, yeah.
obviously
Fair
other
enough.
sheriff's offices do
Okay.
it, but generally I see it's mostly with
Okay.
FHP.
The issue with the sheriff's office is mostly coverage, but
Yeah.
with FHP, you have more coverage for some reason.
okay,
They usually have like, in other places where we're talking about this,
Yeah,
they usually have like a corporal or someone who's like
yeah,
basically set up, it's like, this is the program,
yeah.
and they do it and they get the guys to sign it all
And
that.
their cars are faster.
I actually have a question regarding the speed, and then I actually have two questions. Number one, where the flasher is on Benito, where it tells you how fast you're going, can we post what the speed limit is on that sign? Because it doesn't tell them how fast they're supposed to be going. It just tells you that they're speeding. So can we just say, 25 miles an hour and have that sign posted? And then the other thing is I noticed the other day, there's a couple of speed bumps, the speed bump at the end of Padova, on Padova. Clearly somebody's bottomed out their car a handful of times, and that, and that speed bump is now starting to chip and break away. Can we have the guys take a look at that and see if it needs to be redone or anything?
You bet, while they're here, we'll have them redo it.
And also that's sign that Cindy just mentioned up in Sorrow, the batteries that, I know it's solar, but the batteries don't last very long. By 7:30, after an hour or so, it's dead. So.
Oh, that's not the one on Benito. The Benito one stays working.
Oh, the one up in Sorrow, the one up in
Yeah.
Sorrow is dead within an hour.
Okay,
After dark, maybe 2 tops.
Okay.
So that doesn't help us. And can we find out what those cost? Because I drive in here and I start driving up Passaro and not realizing, and then I see the sign flashing and I slow down.
yeah,
I might be one of a few, but if we can get 20% of the speeders to react to a flashing sign if they're going over the limit, it might be worth putting a couple more of those up somewhere along the way. I don't know. But it's just a thought.
We talked about,
They're expensive,
yeah.
and we don't own them, that's POA. We bought them for the POA.
Oh, okay.
oh, so is that something that POA has to put on? You
We
does
bought
POA
them for the.
What do
We
we
bought
have?
them for the POA.
Oh, okay, so we
bought
can buy
them. They run them.
got it.
The speeding signs on,
The flashing
the
signs.
flashing speeding signs?
News to me. When did this occur?
Years ago.
100 years ago.
Oh, well.
Goes along with the traffic
more or
on.
less.
Okay,
Traffic compliance.
okay.
So we're,
Okay.
we're 2 bumps, only on Benito and Cipriani. We're, at Montalona and Padova, we're 2 on Padova, 1 on Montalona North only. We have 1 speed cushion, on Passaro, somewhere around, well, maybe east of the backdrop, I guess, ish.
Mm-hmm.
And then, we're taking away the speed bump on Passaro at Venito, but adding on Venito to and from the guard shack on both sides.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
Everybody clear?
Yes,
We done here?
yes, thank
I
you.
think so, that's the rumor.
Okay,
All right, was there anything else on this?
I hope not.
All right, so we're gonna move in to item number 6D, which is the discussion regarding web checks.
I'm in favor of it.
who put that on?
We did because, we did have a discussion during the last meeting
About how long it should be?
regarding how long it
Yes,
should
that's-
be.
oh, that's right,
And
thank
Keith
you.
did go back and have a discussion with Spencer on this. Keith, do you want to just give the board a little bit of a?
Oh, that discussion on how long, yeah. Spencer's suggestion was 20 minutes, and I think you saw the email that I was gonna put out about, I haven't sent it out yet, because this was gonna go on the agenda. 20 minutes, for your property is plenty to make your way around and check your irrigation. You turn it off, you go out and you fix it, if that's what you're gonna do, fix it, and then turn it back on. So that you get you around, or you go out and you flag them. And that's how your companies usually do it. They'll go out and check and flag it, and then come back afterwards and because the pumps are still on, once they fixed everything, they go back and check it again to see if it's there.
Right.
It shouldn't take any more than 20 minutes.
I think we should tell people, but we have no way to enforce
Force
it.
it, exactly,
So
that's what I'm thinking.
here's what Spencer, sent me, just so that the board has this for the record. My feedback was 20 minutes, while 30 seconds per zone mentality makes sense. For someone who knows something about irrigation, we need to account what would term as the lowest common denominator in terms of IRR knowledge, which is 0. Some people would reasonably need 2 to 3 minutes per zone to understand what they're looking at, how to fix and how to understand where it sits in the overall system. Over 20 minutes per house, assuming 5 to 7 zones, would not make sense unless you were just running irrigation. That was his feedback.
So how we do enforce that, I was just informed from the POA that there's gonna be
29.
29 violations going out at $100 a piece for the violation. The patrol sits out in front of the house. If they don't see anybody, all right, out there, then they take a picture of the irrigation and the address on the mailbox. Nobody's out there because that's what you're supposed to be out.
Somebody out there.
And, they take a picture of it and then it gets processed. If there's somebody in the back, well, if there's irrigation going on in the front, they should be out in the front, checking that irrigation.
Goes in zones.
And it goes, hey, you're supposed to be doing your zones. Patrol isn't seeing anything out back, so they're not taking any pictures of anything out back. But if they're standing where they're supposed to be, then that's how that is. So that hasn't been any violations for quite some time. And this was kind of news today when I heard there's 29 going out. So
So let me ask this question then, is that considered and this is to Barbara if I'm allowed to do that.
Sure.
Is this considered an uncurable
This is
violation?
uncurable.
So it does not need to go, if it goes to appeals, it does not matter, they're
Well,
still
it
being
would, it
fined,
would come to the fine hearing.
Right.
It would come to the fine hearing.
okay?
We have to officially assess the fine, and there is no cure, but it would still go to an appeal. I'm sure it would be upheld in an appeal,
Okay,
because there is no cure.
How long does the guard stay wait before he takes the picture?
they're out there, probably 3 to 4 minutes, maybe
Okay.
5 minutes.
Okay.
They're not just going by and going, oh, there's nobody there. Click.
That is
Okay,
all-
okay.
That I'm good with that, because like I said,
And I think
comfortable with
at
that.
some point, if it ends up being a problem, then I guess we can address it. But I think this is my personal opinion, and I don't want to run on any of my neighbors, but I have one, and it's constant.
we have one down the block on Montauk.
All day.
All day
All day.
long,
and
yeah.
and you can tell people are doing it because, the sprinklers are
From home
on.
looks great.
And, well,
The water's running down the
Forget
road.
that the
Yeah.
wallet's right.
The water going down the road,
There's a
yeah.
puddle going down the gutter,
I think
exactly,
we have to
and
do
it's
something
been on,
about it. Yeah.
and the sprinklers are working fine, so it's not like one head is shooting all this water out there, it's just running incessantly.
Let me know if there's a problem, we can put it on the agenda if we need to or whatever, but if this
Yeah.
makes sense to
As
you.
we are getting the violations brought into the office, they are getting written up. Sometimes we even have pictures at night where people are watering off their schedule. But some people use wet check habitually to water their lawns.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's an irrigation.
Any-
Yeah.
any
Yeah, and
we
this,
have-
yeah, I think,
yes.
okay, good.
Okay, good, thank you.
And if they have three times that they've been reported, we could theoretically do
Be a
$300.
hanging offense.
Okay,
Cool, awesome.
be cheaper for them to turn their own water
Thank
on.
you. So moving forward, we now have the
Member survey.
discussion, item number 60,
Yeah.
discussion regarding the member survey.
Yeah, so, I know we chatted about this at the last meeting, and I do have, Peter McCarty from the company asking what we want to do. I thought we were mixed on whether we wanted to go ahead and do it now or not.
We were, and I think I was in the minority suggesting that we do have it, because I felt we still want to have a baseline for a year from now. Even if the numbers come in low because people are only thinking about last week and not 6 months ago. When it goes out, you can remind people that this is a survey to cover the entire year, all that, but it just gives us a comparison to a year ago and 2 years ago, and a baseline for next year. Because if Hampton will then have much of the year under their belt, and if things are so much improved, the survey will show it a year from now.
Well, let me ask Greg, if we're asking survey questions that we asked a year ago, because we were done for 2 years now with this company, what do you think? Does it make sense from your perspective for us to do it now?
I think I need to see the survey questions first, just kind of
Perfect answer.
see how they're framed.
Perfect answer, because what I was gonna say is I'd like to suggest to Peter McCarty, I can pull the questions from last year. Why don't I bring them up? I can.
Well, you can just look at last year's survey. It's a starting point.
Does everybody have last year's survey? Do you all have it?
Yeah, somewhere.
I'll send it to you.
Yeah, just email to me,
And then maybe it's something we can talk about in our workshop.
Sure.
Okay.
because this year's survey will be the only year that is this year's survey.
Exactly.
You know,
Yeah. Okay. All right. So.
And between, and
Especially when you consider timing.
Yeah,
Right.
and to have anybody tell us what they thought of Vesta prior to Hampton, or Hampton during this messy transition from Vesta, I just don't see the relevancy. I'd like to see after season, when things get a little bit more under control, and then see how we did from this year to next year, under a full year of Hampton, after you've had the chance to smooth out some of these rough edges.
Well, if anything, he's going to do a survey, and I'll answer, we'll sidebar later, I'd do a survey about the transition.
See, there's so many people that don't
I'd
even
rather-
appreciate there's a transition.
Oh,
Right.
yeah,
You know,
yeah, or it's
you
one,
get
it's only
900
one aspect of
responses.
it, yeah,
Yeah,
I agree with
you
you.
know, we're so
I agree with
close
that
to
too.
it that I don't think we're objective.
Because
You
people go,
get
oh, what
900
happened?
opinions,
Right.
it's a
There are a
better.
lot of people that don't know.
There are a lot of
A
people.
lot of people who don't know, there's a lot of
Well,
people.
in many cases, they think everything's great. Go to the Tiki Hut, have a good
Yeah, or, you
time,
know,
come
they-
here for dinner, the
Yeah.
quality's great, the
They-
service is okay.
Yeah, they came and they saw Brian still here. I can't tell you how many people, after the summer was over, you know, people were like throwing open the door of the club and saying, well, is Brian still here? Yeah, I'm good. So-
All right, so we're
Yeah.
deferring this?
Yes,
Yeah.
in the meantime, so I need to get you the copy of the survey. I will send you that.
Perfect.
Okay.
Mulch proposal.
Okay, so moving into item number 6F, which is the consideration and review of the distribution direct mulch proposal. This is behind tab number 3, so right here.
So I have a question for Keith, who's coming back. Price-wise, I think it was fine. I compared it, you know, we have 6 or 8 neighborhood HOAs who use distribution direct. We've been happy with them for a number of years. I think they do a good job. This price is comparable to what we paid, you know, several months ago.
I've got another one here, another estimate.
My,
It's 28,316.
Okay.
So it's quite a bit more. So
I guess my question, Keith, is, I went back, back in September, we paid a bill of $26,000.
That was for Lowell Road.
Is that what it was?
Yes.
That's what I was gonna ask you.
And that's why this is a little bit lower, or considerably lower, because it would be around the $40,000 range when we did Laurel Road and
Gotcha.
everything else. So
Okay.
this has the cul-de-sacs, it addresses, you know, Darlene's concerned about so we were waiting on getting all this together for,
Does this compare to what we did a year ago?
yes.
Okay, so Laurel Road was under the hurricane fund?
Well, whatever it came out of what we did a couple months ago, so.
Okay.
I don't know if
Yeah, then I don't have a problem with it.
So this is just basically from the guard housing, okay.
And, you know, behind, Pissarro,
Oh,
that,
yeah,
back in that little field back there, there's,
Yeah.
you know, we put it back there.
okay,
The cul-de-sacs,
okay,
the River Club. You know, there was something brought up one time, from Greg's, standpoint is, and it's a great point, is that well, at some point, we need to go in here and take all these down.
Yeah.
Yes.
These humps, because
Yes.
they're, I think we're losing a lot of our mulch when we put them in. It looks great for a while, and then the rains and the irrigation, everything, it's all washed out, and his guys are blowing it going, pushing it down the way. And I'm kind of feeling we need to do that throughout the Venetian, but it's not gonna be an inexpensive process to do that. And I can ask Juniper if they do those type of things, but it's gonna be, you know, here's our problem with that is that when you start going in and pulling all that out, well, you're gonna be pulling out irrigation. And so you not just have the taking out of the mulch, you've got, and bringing it down below so that you can put some nice mulch beds in. You got irrigation that might be pulled out as well. So, you know, like I said, it's not gonna be an inexpensive process to get that done.
Mhm.
so,
So Keith,
go ahead, Cheryl, I'm
Sorry.
sorry, go ahead, Cheryl.
quick question, Keith, this is for all the areas, including the cul-de-sacs, I think you said?
Correct.
Are we gonna wait until the cul-de-sac work is done? Because it kind of seems,
Well,
We should.
You got it.
Yeah, well, we can stop and do the cul-de-sacs that we've already done. And then have them come back with the cul-de-sacs as they get done. You know, get 5 or 6 of them done and then come back and add it. So that it's not
Okay, as
taking.
long as they're willing to do that, that's fine.
Because it's not taking as much time as this is taking to redo what we've already done. So, yeah, I can talk with Chris and see if, we've got 10 cul-de-sacs being done the next, can you guys put X amount of bags to the side and then come back and do it?
Also get a quote from the guys doing the cul-de-sacs, if they're already there picking stuff up and whatever, they may be able to do it inexpensively enough that it just makes sense.
Well, the mulch, if they're redoing the mulch was higher. Okay, so we're getting the mulch at a lesser rate, all right, and it's already been fed into the price of laying it out. Now, will Juniper throw it out and do it? Yeah, it'll have a price tag on it. I mean, they're not,
They're usually high.
Well, yeah, Juniper is very, Juniper is very high for mulch.
And then we'd be double paying for the labor. We'd be paying
Well,
for
that's what I'm
this, yeah.
Well, I'm saying whoever, have it removed from this quote.
Well, I don't know if I-
That's removed from a quote.
well, then we're back, waiting on time I was thinking maybe, we just get it, we can store the mulch.
Yeah.
All right, and then when we get a hold and say, we've got 10 cul-de-sacs that need to be mulch laid, have their guys come back and do it. I don't know if they'll do that, it's a question that I'll ask, but, or we can do it the old way. Well, give us a quote for 10 cul-de-sacs plus the labor. So, and that'll definitely come off of this price, but
So you can get a couple, the bags from Home Depot delivered for $2 a bag. And just drop them in a cul-de-sac and have somebody slice them open and drop them down. I mean, that's whatever else. I mean, it should be kind of simple. I mean, to do the big community that way, no, that would make sense, but on the cul-de-sac basis, it just might be,
It's not that simple.
it's not that hard either. I did it. Done it.
Not to exceed and let Keith decide.
Yes.
Makes sense?
Cheryl, when are the cul-de-sacs supposed to be done?
They're supposed to be completed in the next 2 months. So they were
I just
estimating
wait.
if they get started at the beginning of February, they should be done by the beginning of April.
we can wait.
I just wait till later.
With Juniper,
That's what I
anybody,
would do, because, we've gotten bids on mulch before from numerous places, and this company has always come in lower.
Yeah, always. So do we want to give them a do not exceeds for right now? So when the cul-de-sacs are done, Keith can just go ahead and do it? Or do we want to bring this back?
would Juniper or any other company actually put down somebody else's supplies?
I doubt that.
No.
And I wouldn't ask them to. I would ask, that, of course, that's gonna be a price. So we'll just keep,
These guys are out of Lakeland, they're not gonna wanna come back
No.
to do it.
so we can wait, we get the cul-de-sacs done. It's a no-brainer. Go do it. And while you're here, all the
That's
cul-de-sacs
what
are.
I would do.
We're not in the rainy season, so
No.
it's not
Yeah.
gonna wash away.
Right.
So we'll table this pending.
Either that or we can approve it and just have a schedule for.
That's what I was thinking. I was
Sure.
thinking we'd
Okay.
get the
All right, I'll
okay
make
done
the
so
motion that
Keith.
we approve the distribution direct.
That would be subject to preparation of an
Subject
agreement
to
by
preparation
district.
of contract by council.
I'll second that.
And we want to push it or have a start date in April, just so that because we will
Yes.
want that in.
I'd push toward, because cul-de-sacs are, nothing ever goes as planned. Let's go, we got it done in 2 months. Let's push it just a little bit.
Yeah.
Within 60 days of April 1st.
Yes.
Yes.
Either that or just table this. If you.
Well, I can get them on, and keep this price.
Right.
That's
Yeah, I'm
what-
not
that's
gonna-
what- that's why I was saying.
I would
approve
get
it.
it approved.
Me
Yeah.
too.
Yeah,
Yes,
get approved.
Okay.
Further discussion. All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Thank you. We now have item number 6G, which is the discussion regarding cards and game rules. I'm not sure who added this to the agenda.
I did, but I think we've covered it.
Yeah, do you feel that you have what what you need, if you need anything. on
Yeah,
emergency.
no, I
Okay,
think
but if you do, yeah, if you don't, you know where to find me.
I think it's kind of a living, breathing thing. too.
I think it is, as long as you guys have discretion, but feel that you have the underpinnings
We do.
of the policy from board.
Yep.
Cute.
So I think we covered
I
six
don't
H,
know why we can't, I guess.
unless there's something else to add to six H.
I can explain it to you later.
Is there anything to add to six H, even though it was already
Let's
covered?
see, we could go back to
The
six.
No, I think-
multi-hour
I
workshop.
think we're good.
Yep,
Okay.
all good there.
So six I, discussion regarding private bocce group use of event lawn and restaurant reservations.
Discussed it.
Yeah, we discussed it.
Yeah.
What's private mean? What brought that up?
I put it on because it was kind of like,
Mhm.
it's a group of residents, but was it really private? So I didn't know what to call it. So I just threw.
It was, yeah, it
But-
really wasn't
But
open
it's
to the
not
entire
private, it's
community.
resident.
It's sort of.
Well, it is private
Private to me
because it's
means-
his list.
Yeah.
It's his
What?
It's
list,
his list.
it's his group.
Oh,
So,
It's
yeah.
his group, and in fact, I'm just gonna add
well, I thought
this.
we were opening it up to,
Well, we are, but I don't know how, I mean, Rich decided to put this on, but, just one additional thing here, just so you understand, because I guess Greg and I are the ones who had the most discussion, is that what I had been told by this gentleman is that he would not open up his dinner group to anybody, to a sub. He was not gonna be adding anybody to that. And that was an area where I additionally felt it was important that we take it to central organization, because I personally think in addition to everybody enjoying the club, there's a real F&B opportunity here. If it's organized centrally, we can do it for 250 people versus 45 or 48 or whatever the number was.
And I look at these two separate things. One is bocce and one is using, one is the restaurant, is the F&B
Yeah.
component. I just don't want to lose people
You won't.
if, on the F&B side, if they can be accommodated and 24 people coming down in at once, I realize is,
I'm sure we're gonna hear more about
difficult, yeah.
whatever, because I think Matt was pretty excited about it. I think he would be
yeah,
too.
that's why I say I'm fine.
Or buttonhole Matt and talk to him, yeah.
Mhm.
Cool, all right.
All right,
All right, so we're gonna move into business administration items. We now have item number seven A, which is a consideration of the minutes of the Board of Supervisors meeting held on January 2026. These are behind tab number 4 for your review. Are there any questions, comments, and/or changes to the minutes as presented?
I had one change, I think it was line 78, let me see. Hold on, where is that?
oh, Padova's spelled wrong.
Yeah, thank you, that was it, line 78.
Any other changes?
Thank you, Ken.
There are no further changes.
I
We'll be
noticed
looking
that I
for a
didn't
motion to, with one
What
change
happens?
as noted on the record.
I'll make the motion to approve.
I'll second.
Motion by Cindy, second by Ken. Any further discussion? All those in favor, please state aye.
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 I,
Thank you. We now have item number 7B, which is the ratification of the operations and maintenance expenditures for the months of October and November 2025. These are behind tab number 5 for your review. You normally get this with your agenda packets, but since they're pretty much done at the same time the financials are prepared.
Sure,
Mhm.
So Vanessa was holding off, but I
That's
did
wonderful.
ask for them to be prepared
sure.
because I don't want to fall too behind. So she went ahead and put the packets together. So these are behind tab number 5 for your ratification.
I had one question out of curiosity.
Mhm.
In the second tranche, there's like 11 Florida Power and Light bills for anywhere from $20 to $800.
Yeah, so you're used to seeing this in lump sum.
Ah.
So now, unfortunately, although the majority of these are ACH, with our use of Avid now, I have to go in and approve every single one. So rather than before, we used to have like I don't know if you recall, there was a schedule outlining every single account and what cost was, for example, for the fountain, what was for streetlights. Now we have to post every single bill.
Oh.
So you're gonna see these, they're gonna be a little bit longer. It's a little more work for me because I have to go into each one rather than go into the lump sum as before. But unfortunately, Avid won't let us just post a lump sum. When I look in TAC, I see it as a lump sum, but on Avid, which is where the checks are cut, everything is one by one. So you'll see this now.
Mhm.
Thank you, Ken, for reminding me that I have to do that. Other than that, that's the only major change. Any
Just-
other question?
Just curious, because now these are all broken down, I mean, if it was always that case, does anybody ever look to see that the usage is relatively consistent year upon year? Because I know it's gonna change season to season, but year upon year.
So
Does
what
that-
happens is when we're well, when I review the bills, I normally look at the usage for the prior months as well, because these are ACH. But when we work on the budget, that's another thing that I also do. So I recap these myself and I do a whole 12 months just to compare. But typically it's one by one per packet. So when we do look at them, we do check the prior month usage, and then you can see the prior year usage because I do go a full 12 months.
Okay.
Sometimes I go beyond the 12 months. I think this year I'm gonna be a little more creative with the annualized recap and try to attach something different for the board to see year after year on FPL, because now that it's split up, it's not just a lump sum like it was before. So I'm gonna try to figure out something as it relates to our comparison schedule. Typically, I think last year we went back 6 years. So I'm gonna add this year's, but I have to, I'm gonna separate what's fountain, what's irrigation, what is just regular guardhouse, and maybe I can just pull GLs from each one for a full 12 months so that you can compare.
Cool. Did we approve them? We need a motion.
We need a motion to ratify.
I'll make the motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any further discussion? All those in favor, please state aye.
Aye.
We're now gonna go into the consent items. There are 1, 2, 3, 4 sets of minutes for your acceptance. If there are no questions, we've been looking for a motion to accept.
I'd make that motion.
So,
Second by Jill. Any further discussion? All those in favor, please state aye.
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 Thanks, Cheryl. Supervisor requests or comments? Are there any supervisor requests or comments?
I've got three quick, I've got three quick things. The LaSalle Work Group has, a meeting on this Friday at 2:00, with the architect who you've met, John Swidrak, and also, somebody from a construction company who was here a couple Mondays ago to talk about some, rough costs. So hopefully, I'll have more information for you soon. For Greg's information, because you might not have heard about that yet, Jamie is gonna join for that, Greg, and if you wanna join, obviously you can. I know I think you and Jamie are trying to kind of tag team on that one, but, so I'm looking forward to that, because I think that's gonna help us move forward and make some decisions, or at least some next steps. The second thing I wanted to mention is Mark Pfeiffer and I will be, I'm going to back up a second. You may recall that there's this leadership group that Barbara Silkworth had organized, POA, CA, and CDD. We've talked a lot about communications, and one of the things that we think would help people is a brief FAQ type of document, and we've identified a spot on the River Club website that would be a good repository for that, but I think would help people understand how to navigate information they're trying to get across all the organizations, including the sub-associations. So I've talked to Justin Kuhn and the principal. He said, yes, you can easily do that because it would be a document. So I just wanted to sensitize you to that, but it would be on the River Club website because everybody thinks about going there and it does seem to make the most sense. So if you'd like to see that FAQ before it goes out, I'm happy to share it with you. Otherwise, we'll put it out there. Perfect. And the last thing, I'm kind of circling back to an agenda item, but I think it's a little big thing and we need to discuss it. On the guests for cards and games, I think it's an important, because maybe you put that on the agenda. So on the guests, one of the things that I've seen, and other people have come and talked to me about, residents, is it's one thing if you have a house guest who's coming and wants to join and play mahjong or whatever. We have people who used to live here and are coming here sometimes 2-hour days a week to play. And there are a couple of knock-on effects. The first is I think Cheryl had a call from somebody, I've had a call from somebody who was upset because they couldn't get into a group and it turned out the group had non-residents in it, groups, they were guests. But they're people who don't live here coming back 2 or 3 days a week to play. The second effect is on days that we have food operations, because we've got groups that need quiet and groups that make noise, right? We're kind of stuck between these two rooms. So if you start to get a group that has 6 tables of ladies with a shuffler, and a number of the people, I don't know, I don't want to say that they're bringing in a lot of guests, but you start to end up with not enough space. So it's not that we're saying you can't have guests. It's that if you want to bring a guest, it needs to be done on 1 or 2 days when we have a lot more space.
No, I was just, again, I have no skin in the game, I don't play with colors.
Yeah,
But I was trying to respond to the
Yeah.
one group that's been playing together for years, and now we're saying, well, you can't play together anymore. Too bad.
I mean,
no,
it
we're not
just
saying
seemed like-
you can't
it
play
seemed
together,
petty.
but that's not correct. People can play on Monday and Tuesday.
They play on Wednesday and they stay for lunch. We don't have lunch on Monday and Tuesday.
Well, I mean, I understand that, but we also have residents.
Jill,
who
I'm
eat
fine with
lunch.
it.
Okay,
I don't care,
okay,
I was just
I
advocating.
get it, and I think.
For this
Or we do
group
it-
who've been playing together for
And
all
I
their lives,
said the
and
same,
now we're saying you
and I
can't play
said, and I
together.
said the same thing with, I was thinking the same thing with the bocce people.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's at the end of the
Or
world.
we'll
We do.
that
Playing
shuffle's
cards.
loud.
We have to be consistent for the whole community.
Well,
not,
we
you know,
do, and we have expanded use of the club. It's unfortunate and.
Or what we do is we do with the tennis. Charge them a fee.
I
know it's a dirty
I have a
thing,
problem
dirty
with
thing
all
to
these
say.
tennis teams that we have, and outside teams come in and play all the time. and-
Well, because we go play over there. And
Yes, I
that's
know.
another issue, is that people are
But
coming
that's-
here because we're the people with the space.
Yeah.
You weren't here this summer, Ken, but I'm telling you, it got nuts in here this summer. Sometimes the whole dining room was full. There were people trying to eat lunch and they couldn't because it was ding, 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 ding.
What's that got to do with tennis teams?
Because we're not, our card players are not going en masse to go play at other clubs.
Right.
Everybody's coming here because we have the space.
Right.
And
Okay.
people have moved out of here and want to come back. And one other thing, I'm not going to get into names or who,
No,
but
that's
there
fine.
are
You already
people
got-
who are promising
we don't have to
people,
talk
I
about
will
it
get you
anymore.
in here. And they left. I think it's an issue.
People move.
They do.
Be with their friends.
I get it. Well, move back in here and pay the
No,
fee.
they should play at somebody's house.
Or get a non-member.
Yeah, or
Not
pay
resident
somebody's
member.
house. A lot of people do. So,
Yeah.
That's-
anyway,
Anyways,
there it is.
Any other supervisor requests or comments?
I have one brief comment.
Sure.
If that's okay.
Why not?
Brief, super brief. I didn't touch on it when I was talking about Cindy helping us with the onboarding process. The other issue that's being addressed by the front desk, and it is available in this handout, this is not the final iteration, so I didn't pass them out to everybody, was the website password access.
Oh.
About a year ago, just shy of a year ago, there was a migration of data and information from Club Essentials to Jonas. And everything that didn't match up exactly on any user of the website, it automatically kept them from having access to the website with a password. It's very easy to do that. It's one of the steps we tell people how to reset it, but you can also contact Jordan or Alexander at the front desk. That has been a common issue for people trying to make dining reservations or lap reservations or tennis court
Right.
reservations. So that was, and it's one of those things, once you do it once, you're back in.
It's a
fine.
reset.
it was the system migration to Jonas.
Okay.
Yeah, so if they hadn't logged in and they had left the community and didn't go through to do it, when they came back, they ran into that situation. Yep.
Okay.
And there's been a couple hundred.
So unusual, we never expected that.
Interesting. Yes, I was the help desk this weekend for somebody.
Oh, okay.
All right, so it is 12:20 PM. Is there a motion to adjourn?
I'll second.
Motion by Jill, second by Sydney. All those in favor, please state aye.
Aye.
Meeting adjourned at 12:20 PM. Thank you, everybody.
Less than 3 hours.
Yeah,
No, I just
totally.
cut Cheryl off without saying goodbye.